Stephen, I want to know.
Talking to them, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm having an intimate moment with Sunday morning people. Hi. Is this Sunday?
It's Sunday.
Then it must be Face the Nation.
Well done. I'm looking for a theory of this election. Do you have one?
Anything goes, I guess. All bets are off. There's a populism to Trump that I find very appealing. And it's only this, is that the party elders would like him to go away. But the people have decided that he's not going to.
So you like that?
Yeah, I may disagree with anything that he's saying and think that his proposals are a little, well, more than a little shocking. But there is something really hopeful about the fact that, well, 36% of the likely voters want him, so the people in the machine don't get to say otherwise. That's the one saving grace, I think, of his candidacy.
You have to look at this mess of an election and like make something of it, make a joke of it, come to terms with it. Like, how would you?
I always feel bad. I feel bad for the candidates now, you know, because what did we start off with? Something like 22 at one point?
We're still
That's why we did Hungry for Power games, because we were trying to think of how do we talk about them, because most of them we know are just going to fall by the wayside. You know, if not literally with an arrow in their chest, but it was certainly massive, you know, campaign debt. You know, God knows what's going to happen to George Pataki. He's going to be swept into the turbines of this election, you know, or tossed over a railing to a pit full of piranhas. Something, you know, bad is going to happen to all the lower tier candidates. And I started feeling bad about how excited I was about each of them dropping out.
What's your view about facts?
Facts?
Facts and their salience in the conversation.
I'm a big fan of facts. I'm not sure they have any bearing on what person's popularity is, because Donald Trump is like... I'm not the first person to say this, but I completely agree that he's my old character with $10 billion. You know, he's completely playing on an emotional level, and so beautifully. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I just can't do that old character anymore, because he's doing it better than I ever could, because he's willing to drink his own Kool-Aid and manufacture it and distribute it, because he's got all the cash. He's this very interesting... like Frankenstein of the idea that facts don't matter and only money does. Because if money is speech, he's got a $10 billion mouth. And it doesn't have to spend any of it, because everyone will point a camera at him.
Before you started the show, you said you were just hoping he would stay in the race long enough for you to start the show.
I really didn't think he'd be doing this well, because I don't really know anything about politics. I mean, as a spoiler, I just pretended for years to know something about it. I know something about human behavior, because I'm really just an actor and a writer.
But you also have a big heart, and you want good stuff to come out of the process.
Oh yeah, no joke for Donald Trump or anything, or no joke for any individual candidate is worth, you know, means more to me than what I think is best for the country.
If the process looks cynical to you, as it sometimes can, do you ever think like, hey, maybe we can reintroduce people to like, what's good about this?
I respect people who are politically engaged, because so few people are. And whatever candidate they support, I respect that. For so many years, I lived on, I pretended to be an advocate for a side. And as such, I always had to take sides. This person is good, that person is bad, and there is nothing in between. I think that area in between is where most people live, but we're asked to go in one direction or the other, mostly so one side or the other can raise money, or one side or the other doesn't have to necessarily explain themselves, and it can be purely on an emotional appeal. But boy, it would be lovely if we all could have a conversation that does not involve demonizing the other side. I think that's worth doing. I don't know if it's my job, but I would say that that's certainly an objective of mine. I've tried to be very respectful to, you know, I tried to be respectful to Donald Trump. The first thing I did was apologize to him. I didn't let my audience get mad at Ted Cruz or boo him. You know, I wanted Kasich to have a good time. I hope all the candidates will come on.
Well, there sounded like there was a little bit of Trump respect in you for his ability to channel the populist.
Well, I mean, I have respect for Trump for knowing who the real audience is. That if you really want to win, you've got to get the people. The people get to make the call, especially now, because the parties are so beholden to big money that the party apparatus itself has been dismantled in favor of just cash. And so there aren't, you know, wise old people who get to make the call, because that's been farmed out to super PACs, which don't seem seem to be that powerful themselves, really. But in giving the power over to those super PACs, they've actually completely defanged the party themselves. That's why you can't stop a Trump. I mean, that's a real blowback to the idea that we're going to take power away from the party and just give it to cash. What I do respect is that he knows that it is an emotional appeal, and it might be emotional appeals that can't respect, but he knows that you have to appeal to the voter. And that's why I may be wrong. I made a big deal about there's no way he's going to win.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah. Oh, again, I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah, but you do know about the country. You have a sense of where the country is. You have a sense, and I wonder how you get that now. I mean, you know,
that's one of the reasons I stopped
is.
The old show, is that I had a sense where the country is. I think people, I think people don't really want constant divisiveness. I really don't think they want that, and that's what I was aping. And I thought, I can't drink that cup anymore, because I don't think people really want to hear it.